I've come to realize is actually looking down the wrong end of the telescope, because your diet, as I say, is your lifestyle, and comprises what you think, what you drink, and what you eat in that order of importance. And it's not just me saying that. I've interviewed a lot of other experts in this field, including a guy who I regard very highly called Phil Richards, who coaches some very top-level sports people nationally and internationally. And in order to be optimally fit and healthy and well, the mental game is really crucial, as is what you drink, and only then what you eat. Now, most diets, and I use the word in the traditional old-fashioned sense, in the concept of dieting, will put you on a sort of calorie-controlled regime, make you feel hungry. You've got things that are banned. You've got cheats, you've got all that sort of language going on, and it's not real life. I don't believe you can sustain dieting indefinitely. It's very bad for your psychology, for your metabolism, for your heart, and it puts people in a very painful place. And I meet a lot of people who've reached their wits' end with dieting, for whom life has ceased being worth living, and the thought of putting themselves on that sort of regime again just fills them with horror, so they give up. And they think, well, I'm just going to have to be fat and unhealthy for the rest of my life. That's the way it is. And so what if I've got no energy or no sex drive or no whatever? I'll just have to tolerate it. But it really is not like that at all. And I think there's so much misinformation out there that people literally have to wade through the clutter to get to the stuff that's really important. And there's a lot of it is conflicting too. So the alkaline diet is a set of simple lifestyle changes. That's the way I would describe it. Now, when you look at people like Dr. Robert O. Young and you read some of his books, and I'm sure you've maybe come across the pH Miracle and the pH Miracle for weight loss, some people may have come across, it looks pretty demanding when you look at this stuff, and it's sort of suggesting that you have a green breakfast and that you exist on a diet, and again, eating things that actually will put you outside of mainstream society. So my approach is much more holistic and takes the best of the alkaline diet, but comprises or combines it with a lifestyle that's very easy to live with. And there's just a book I'd like to mention at this point. I've mentioned a couple already, but the book that guides my philosophy is called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I don't know if you've come across that, Chris.
No, I can't say I've heard. Can you just say that one again?
Yeah, The Slight Edge.
What's it called?
The Slight Edge.
Slight Edge.
Secret to a Successful Life by Jeff Olson. Jeff.
Oh, right.
Olson. Let me just praise it very, very briefly. Right. In a nutshell, it's based on the work of Jim Rohn, who, as you probably know, inspired Tony Robbins, one of his first mentors. Small, simple things done on a daily basis compound to produce a massive difference over not a very long period of time. We're talking a matter of weeks. But you have to do them every day. And that's where it's sort of slightly unsexy and runs slightly counter to the push-button society that we live in, where everybody thinks there's a miracle cure for weight loss, for example, and that they just need to find it and everything will be fine. The reality is, I always say that the habits and patterns that got people the results they're currently enjoying will not get them the results that they desire. They're going to have to change those habits and patterns. And as a chartered psychologist, that's my specialism, because winning the mental game is totally key. And when I say winning the mental game, I mean making those habit changes such that they are on autopilot. The subconscious mind is dealing with them thereafter, and you don't have to put yourself in a painful, difficult place and motivate yourself and psych yourself up and beat yourself up. So the alkaline diet is a broad church. You probably get a different definition from 10 different people. My view is it's a small, simple set of lifestyle choices which compound to produce a massive difference when you keep doing them.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're speaking now, I just sort of I'll add a little bit to that just for the listeners. I was when was I there? Friday. I was in Reading. I do a bit with my teaching. I do a bit of travelling, sort of around the south of the country and up to the Midlands and things like that. And on Friday I was down in Reading. Yeah. And I was speaking with one of the other tutors down there, and through sort of because we don't sort of meet up each tutor all the time, he got wind through other tutors about the way that I eat, and I sort of say I'm transitioning towards the alkaline diet. I've still got bits and pieces to do myself, but he got wind of sort of what I was doing, and he was sort of saying how strict and disciplined and focused and I must have been on my diet, and I said to him, I'm not. it's just the way it's not, for most people, they look at me and they think, wow, you must, you're so disciplined, you're strict on yourself.
Yeah.
What do you do for pleasure eating or whatever?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, really. I haven't really thought of it, because it's just so in my head, which is what you were saying, that sort of mental game, that it's not for me. It's not this far removed thing that I do. And, that's taken a process of 2, 3, maybe 4 years of sort of conditioning myself.
Yeah.
For this to be my normal diet, if you know what I mean.
Right. Totally agree with you. And I think most people make this whole thing far too difficult, because part of it is the myth that they've been sold by the dieting industry, which says that you have to buy these particular products, these shakes, these bars, these replacements, this whatever nonsense it is, and you will lose weight. But of course, the moment you stop doing that, and you go back to a quote normal Western acidic diet and lifestyle, then it all comes back on and more. And then, so people are literally in a trap. And I talk about the diet trap. So many people are literally enchained in the diet trap. And it saddens me, because it's not necessary. And I think it's not been cynical, but it's happened in a way that people don't feel they have any choices left. And it pains me when everybody goes on the New Year's resolution diet and it all stops again, and they'll start the same cycle around this year, and they'll end up at the end of this year heavier than they were 12 months earlier, and the whole thing perpetuates, and it's a vicious circle, and it doesn't need to be that way. And it sounds like you and I have a very similar philosophy on that, which I think is very helpful.
Yeah. So we've talked about sort of it being a lifestyle. So to be able to give people some sort of comparison, can you just sort of draw a comparison between, let's say, a typical sort of Western diet and an alkaline diet?
Okay.
How can people sort of get that in their head?
Yeah.